I'm ready. I'm not always ready.
Good morning, everybody. This is Jason Prigge with Coffee on the Coast, and I am here with my pal, Kristin Odell from KLO. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning. I've got my coffee on the coast too.
Very
My
nice.
favorite Green Bay Packer cup.
Awesome. I've got a coffee on the coast here. I didn't bring the coffee on the coast mugs or the coolest coast mugs from the shop yet, because, yeah, I didn't want to go there because that's not really essential, right? So anyway, I'm going to put Kristin's website right up here. Kristin is an independent HR consultant. She's a strengths coach, and she is my pal and just an awesome person and a leader in the community. She is one of the people I respect in the business community as far as HR resources and strengths training goes. And she is also a mom and a wife and working from home just like everybody else right now, right?
hmm Yeah, so
So
that
it's
also means I'm tired.
how many girls do you have, Kristin?
We have three girls. I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So like many people struggling right now with learning how to homeschool, it's a new day, and every
Yeah.
day is a new day to start fresh. Um, my 10-year-old was doing awesome before spring break with it. She'd log in and did amazing. And yesterday it was more like this beautiful Chromebook tool she has is now like something to chat with her friends and email. They're so tech savvy that it wasn't being used productively yesterday. So,
Uh-oh.
um, so I'm evil mom. I took the Chromebook away
Oh
yesterday. That's
no.
me. Um,
Well, you have to do that. You have to set limits. And with the girls, with your kids being that young, there's got to be a lot of energy in the house.
there is a ton of energy. Now, we have been getting outside. We've visited Lower Cato Falls for hiking. We've hit up Shooty Park on the lower side, which was wet and muddy, but it was awesome. We've been out to Silver Creek, and the girls just have been playing outside in our yard too. So I think that has been something that is saving my sanity. For those of you wondering, how can I navigate this? Getting that fresh air and getting some exercise has just been so meaningful to me. And I know the girls too, just it's a really great way for us all to clear our heads.
Yeah, we've been doing a very similar thing. We've been going for drives. So, we hop in, gas is really cheap. And we kind of make a pact. I have a 14-year-old son, for those of you who don't know. And we make a pact that we're not getting out of the car, right? Dad has already gone and filled up with gas and all he's looking forward to the drive. So we've gone north of Manitowoc, south of Manitowoc, and west of Manitowoc, just exploring back roads. And if we see something cool, we'll get out of the car and take a picture. But it's just kind of a little bit of a family time where we can just
Mhm.
drive around and discuss what's going on and get out of the house. And then my wife and I have also been going for a lot of walks, so that helps.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
awesome.
I think it's important to stay positive in this time. A
Mhm.
lot of people will get down and depressed because it's kind of a fearful time, right? Especially if you're in one of those risk groups. But and now with the isolation or social, I was talking with Pastor Matt Sauer the other day. He said call it physical distancing, not social distancing, because
Right,
we want to still be social. But anyway, now it's going to be until the end of April
right.
and maybe into May. So it's very important to keep inside. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things that are important. Number one, people are being displaced. A lot of people in the service industry, other things, factories that are deemed non-essential are being displaced. But the good news is that there's actually folks hiring.
There is. So, as much as a lot of people have been impacted, whether it's furloughs and having to take layoffs for a period of time or a full closure, yes, a lot of people are impacted right now. So, the first thing I would say is there are companies hiring out there. And if you need to work, either the income or you need benefits, there are companies hiring full-time right now. So Jason, I'll have you chat about this awesome link you have on your webpage where people can go and search, but there are companies, fabulous local companies hiring right now that I would encourage you to go and check out. The other thing I want to mention is they've really lifted rules and guidelines on the unemployment laws that would normally exist. And so, I had a question yesterday. I'm a sole proprietor. I don't know if I'm eligible. Just go and apply. You
Hmm.
have nothing to lose by applying for unemployment. It's there to help you. If you are struggling right now, go and apply for unemployment. They've purposely lifted the rules to make benefits available to people who otherwise were not eligible. Yes, it might be a hard process. You might have to answer questions. You might have to submit stuff online, but go and do it. It's not going to hurt for you to try. So anybody that's calling and saying, "What do you think? Should I? Shouldn't I? I don't know if I'm eligible." Go and apply. It won't hurt. The worst thing that will happen is they say you're not eligible, but they're really trying to make those resources available.
Right, right. Just ask, and a lot of local banks that I've been talking to as well are really versed in the what's going on. So I just want to make one correction. My wife just texted me while we're doing this, and I spelled grow with KLO, grow with kilo. So it's actually
Ooh.
growwithklo.com. Sorry about that, everybody. It's the first time on this platform, and I'm rushing around. So anyway, I took it off the screen, but it's growwithklo.com. So yeah. So anyway, getting back to hiring and stuff on our webpage, coolestcoast.com, and I'm going to just show that really quick. Let's see here if I can get this working.
I'll
Let's
talk
see.
while you do
Oh,
that. So if you go to the
okay.
Coolest Coast webpage, there's all these great headers along the top, which are local Manitowoc County resources. And all you need to do is click on careers, and all of these things will start popping up. And those are being pulled in from a number of different sites, including things like Indeed. So you can go out there and do a job search and find things that are available to you. So I know I've seen companies like Quick Trip and AmeriCollect offering positions locally. So just go check it out.
Awesome. Well, you just did it. And while you were talking, I put the website up there and the pages that I copied. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. I want to talk about really quickly now. You have a husband who's a professional. I have a wife who's a professional. We're all sharing the house.
Yes.
So how does that work? Do you have separate offices that you use? I mean, right now I'm in my dining room doing this. I think my son's still asleep. How do you navigate working at home? Do you guys share hours? Do you have how does the juggling work?
So some days it works fabulously, and other days it just is not good. We are for now sharing an office, but we obviously both can't be on conference calls at the same time. It's incredibly distracting and difficult.
Right.
So when we are on conference calls, like right now, I'm here, he's downstairs in our basement on a conference call. So we are very lucky to have that flexibility. We're also very lucky because we're both still working. So I feel so lucky for that. We also actually made a point. I cleared a space in our office desk. We got a piece of that plastic flooring for his office chair, but we actually set up a designated space for him. I'm truthfully was so used to having the office to myself that when he started staying home, I would get frustrated with him being in my space. And so mentally, it was easier for me to say, "Here, let's put your stuff up here." I'm pointing this way because it's this way.
Right.
It was easier for me to set up his spot and for him to have a zone and for me to have a zone. So, and he learned quickly, like many of you, working on his laptop and like looking down all the time was hard for him. So he actually went into the office and picked up his dual monitors from work and brought them home, just so that he's more comfortable and his eyes are not killing him by the end of the day. So, uh, you
Wow.
know, we're navigating it. Just before we go to bed at night, a lot of times we're like, okay, when do you have calls? When do I have calls? To kind of go back to that school thing, I am still working. I'm really fortunate to be able to work part-time, but I'm trying to bucket and navigate my work either in the morning or the afternoon because I'm carrying the responsibility of homeschooling the girls. And so I need to make sure there's designated time in my day to try to get that work done as well. And as many of you know, having multiple age groups at home with you is really hard to homeschool. I can't focus on all three of them at one time either. So I find that, even if they have 2 hours of work, it's taking us longer to get through because I can't give all three of them the attention and support that they need. So we're showing each other grace, and compassion and understanding and patience. Honestly, a lot of the things Matt talked about in your video the other day, we're just trying to be patient with each other, to make sure that we can navigate, get all of us getting our work done.
I think that's the key, is being patient with one another. It's difficult, and I did a video of like a week ago for LTC, and I was talking about working from home, and people get tempted to like, okay, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to float to the office in my jammies, or I'm just going to lay here in bed with my laptop. And I think one of the most important things that, at least for me, works is a routine, right?
Hmm.
Getting up, dressing like you would when you're going to the office, that helps me at least.
Hmm.
And trying to have some semblance of professionalism, and trying to
Right.
be, you know what I mean? It's hard because you're cooking lunch and you're doing different things, and the schedule, like I'll work at midnight all of a sudden, or I'll get up early like I did this morning, get all this stuff set up for this live chat, and then I'll take a break later. But a lot of times people will either do one of two things. They'll relax their regular workflow and fall behind, or they'll overwork.
Hmm.
And like, oh, I can just get everything done now, I don't have to leave the office at 5. So I just, for me, it's important to take breaks. It's
Hmm.
important to take a lunch break. It's important to take deep breaths. It's important to go for a ride with my family or go for a walk with my wife, to take those breaks. So that's my advice for people
Hmm.
out there living in this new reality. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard some people really thrive on schedule. So I've heard husbands and wives sitting down and like making a family schedule so that they're prepared for their day and they kind of can anticipate how things are going to go or how they're going to manage the work. For some people, a schedule is overwhelming and almost too much. And for those individuals, I would say just try to bucket things into a couple of hours. Again, show yourself some flexibility, but try to just say, okay, in this group of time, I'm going to try to just focus on school versus I'm just going to try to focus on work, and not have a real regular schedule. Again, show yourself some flexibility, but you know what? It's okay to go for a walk in the middle of your day, or it's okay to sit down and have lunch with your family, or you know what? We're all going to take a break and we're going to do a puzzle for 30 minutes or whatever you want it to be. It's okay to do that. The way that you're working is different than what it was before. So just figure out the way that works best for you, the thing that's most productive, and try it. Try it for a week. If it
Right.
doesn't work, just make an adjustment and go back. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means this is an evolution of learning how to kind of work and play in a different way. So we need to try.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, actually. It's funny because my friend Todd here, Todd Nilsson, who's joining us. Hi, Todd. Good morning. He said the right mental attitude has helped by how you dress for the day. So you get into that mindset of work. He's also saying online yoga breaks rock.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and he's given a plug for my buddy over at Wave Studio in Two Rivers, Ariane. So anyway, yeah, it's a new reality, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's hard because we, as professionals, as families, as just people personally, it's like, okay, this kind of sucks.
Hmm.
Like I had to go to the grocery store the other day, and I sanitize the crap out of everything. I put these
Hmm.
little sandy wipes in a bag, and I'm in there, and it was very clean, the grocery store, but there was like, people had sneeze guards up, and there's no, like one per person on some of the items, and it's a new reality to adjust to. You have to be careful. And I'm in that risk group, right? So I'm like always worried, and I'm freaking out, and I got hand sanitizer and a little thing on me, and I'm in my car and wipes all over the place. It's hard to not get down.
Right.
So what I do to keep myself positive is I try to get out in nature, number one. That really helps, like taking a walk, and real people out there. Love exists, and
Yeah.
if they're caring people, and we still live in a wonderful community. The outside is not closed. Now, obviously, you can't take your kids to a park and play on the equipment, but you can go for a walk. You can throw a ball around or whatever it is. And it's really important to fill your brain with positive things. So I get stuck. I don't know about you, but I got in the beginning of this thing, actually up until about last week, I got stuck looking at negative news. And I'm like, oh, this negative news. Like, how many cases do we have in Wisconsin now? Is Manitowoc on the thing yet? And oh my God, look at this number and look at this number. I have to distance myself now, and I've been purposefully not looking at those things, except for like maybe 10 minutes a day. And okay, I'll read the news for just a minute, but if I get stuck into that negativity, it's all doom and gloom. But focus on the things that are important, right? Your family, your business, your community. So how do you cope with that and remaining positive?
Yep. So first, I'm not watching the news at all. Wasn't a news watcher before. And I found that when we are watching, it doesn't put me in a positive mindset. Not that I'm not afraid of the reality. I've accepted the reality. I mean, this is what it is. Um, but there's not at this point no benefit. My friends on Facebook will let me know when the ban is lifted, right? When I don't have to stay home anymore. So no, we're focusing on family time. We've pulled a lot of old board games out. We've pulled puzzles out we've been meaning to do. Like I said, we've been getting out in nature. The girls had an incredible time a couple weekends ago at the school forest, where our school forest is open, hiking on logs and digging in the sand. And like, there's all these amazing things that we can do that I feel like I never had time to do. So, we're hitting that kind of bucket list of being outside. And, there's other stuff. So there's a Facebook group called Spread the Love that's going primarily around Manitowoc, but the reach is getting bigger. You cut out paper hearts and put them in your windows, and you can actually go drive around and see who's all participating. But people have done incredible designs with these hearts. So go check that out. The Manitowoc Public Library is also promoting putting a teddy bear in your window and searching for teddy bears. So as you guys know, teddy bears are a great buddy to read with, and reading is so important for the kids. So same thing, put a bear up in your window if you're in a place where people can drive by and see it. For those of you who know where I live, we decorated our office window last night. It's full of hearts. We had a great time doing it. It's just a good activity for the kids. And so just, you got to find the things that either you haven't done and now's a new opportunity. The other thing I'll mention, and Jason, I know that this might be near and dear to your heart, is we have been cooking together as a family so much more. My oldest daughter, Grace, and I tackled pasta. We made homemade pasta, lasagna pasta
Wow.
last week. We've baked blueberry muffins, which I've posted about. And so every week we've been kind of tackling something, either because we're trying to use leftovers up, we're trying to be frugal with our food, or because, hey, we've not done this before and I now have flour and eggs and time. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to continue sharing some of those things. My husband says all the time, you've got to post this. But I just feel like this is an opportunity to get close to my girls and do stuff that is going to help them learn and helps brings us together as a family. So that's what we're focusing on. And do I get down? Oh yeah, I get down. I think we get frustrated sometimes, but at the end of the day, I've got a warm house with heat. Our utility companies are still rocking it. We've got plenty of food here. We're really fortunate in that way. My family is here. My parents have been in our inner circle, so we're continuing to be with them. And we just have so much to be thankful for. Yes, I have to stay inside, but I've got all these incredible things around me. And so we're trying to do everything we can to support others who are struggling. And it just, that all is good stuff and it makes you feel good. So.
Yeah, agreed. It's up to you really to stay positive, because we're in charge of our brains, right, and our minds, and we become what we think about. So if we're going to be negative Nancy's about it, we'll become that. So I really appreciate your thoughts on that. I'd like to do this if you're willing. I'd like to do this on a weekly basis. I think you bring a lot of value to the conversation, and what I want to talk about in the upcoming weeks with you is what you do for a living, obviously, and how that kind of plays into what's happening right now with companies. So
Sure.
thank you so much for joining me this morning, and stay safe, stay well, say hi to the girls soon. I'm just going to wrap up here.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for joining Kristin and I. And for another Coffee on the Coast live. This is our first live ever, which is really exciting. And we'll bring you these in the upcoming weeks. So we have tomorrow the mayor, Justin Nichols, mayor of Manitowoc, coming on, give us a quick community update about how the city is handling the crisis right now and the positive things that are happening within the city. Once again, on Coolest Coast, we want to keep it positive. Check out coolestcoast.com, check out our careers page, and be safe.
Bye, guys. Be safe.
Bye-bye.